So let us begin. Our very first storyteller of the day is Shilpa Mehta from Jaipur. Her name means creativity and craftsmanship. How fitting that she brings us a tale of clever minds traveling across cultures. Thank you, Shilpa, and I welcome you to be the very first teller of the day, and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Sheetal. Hello, everyone. I'm Shilpa Mehta, a storyteller and an author who believes that stories are empowering. I have authored academic books for children, and my fictional woven tales have found their way into various anthologies. I write both in Hindi and English. I have had the privilege of performing at numerous literary and storytelling events on national and global platforms. I am also a reading champion for storytelling sessions with Pratham Books under the One Day One Story campaign in my city, Jaipur. And through my YouTube channel, Shilpa Story Rack, I always strive to reach out to people by exposing them to a wide range of stories across genres, both in Hindi and in English. My purpose is to spread stories far and wide, to keep the oral tradition of storytelling alive and bring joy and smile on people's face. I am glad to be a part of Chennai Storytelling Festival once again. Thank you, Dr. Eric. And today I will tell you a new version of a very well known story in which, as a storyteller, I have added my own touch. So let's dive in. There was once a king and a queen, like you always have, and they had seven children, seven boys, and each one of those boys was born on a different day of the week. And in this kingdom, order mattered, time mattered, and naming was power. Because what we name, we shape, and what we shape, we control. Now, as each boy was born on a different day of the week, so the king and the queen named them after time itself. The eldest one was Sunday, then came Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, then Friday, and the youngest. They called him Shabbos, the day of rest, the day of pause. And all of the boys were good boys, well raised boys. One day, when they were grown up, they came to their father, the king, and they said, Father, we are grown up now. We want to go out into the world looking for a fortune and destiny. Good, good, great idea. The world belongs to the brave. Then he looked at Shabbos. Not you. You are young. You stay back. Please, 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 father. I can do what my brothers do. I am grown up too. Let me go. Please, 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 please. Okay. All right, Shabbos. You may go too. But all of you, you must promise me that you will never quarrel. You will never turn power against each other. You will live like good brothers should live. Yes, we promise. They promised and they left. They walked, they laughed, they shared food, they shared stories, they shared dreams. They walked for 7 days on the road. And on the seventh day, well, you know it, they came to the crossroads. But would you imagine that crossroad? Was it split into two? No, no, no. It was not split into two, not in four. It was split into seven roads. Great. Each one of us will take our own road and find our own fortune. And after a year, we will come back here and tell each other what we have found. So each brother chose his own road. After a year, they came back to the same place and laid their powers on the table like achievements. Shabbos asked, So, Sandy, what did you find? I found a pair of spectacles. Spectacles? What's so special about the spectacles? Oh, they are magic. Whenever I look through them, I can see whatever I desire, even if it is miles away. Good, Mandy said. I found a magic fiddle. Whoever hears the music falls asleep. And Tuesday said, I didn't find a thing. I learned a thing. I can take out anything from anybody's pocket or out of anybody's hand without the person knowing it. You have become a big pocket. And Wednesday said, now talking about pockets, I found a magic coat. Its pocket can hold anything, whether it's small or large. Thursday said, I found an oak twig, and when I wave it, wooden bullets fly and enemies flee. That would come handy in case of war. But let's hope there's no war. Friday said, I found a bow and arrow, and whatever I aim my arrow, I can hit it, be it as small as a seed in the beak of a bird flying high. And Shabbos, what about you? Oh, I can throw anything, whether it's small or big or as heavy as a millstone, into the sky. And when it falls back to the earth, I can catch it so gently that it does not break. Good. Come, let's go home. And they started going home. Now, on their way home, they came to a city, and the city was all shrouded in black. Black cloth was hanging down from the balcony, black flags were fluttering in the wind. The people were all dressed in black. They were looking very sad. What's the matter? Oh, well, our princess. Oh, she was so pretty and kind. We all loved her. But she has vanished. Somebody has abducted her. And we don't know who. We don't know where. The brothers looked at each other. Show us the way to your king. And when they stood in front of the king, they said, well, we can help to get your daughter back. Oh, how will you do that? Well, Sandy, you guessed it. He took out his spectacles and looked through. I see a grey castle, and in that castle, I see an old man with grey hair, grey beard, wrinkled face, and he is holding the hand of a girl. What, what does she look like? There's something peculiar. Her left hand has 6 fingers. That's her. That's my daughter. And so the brothers went to bring her back. They went to that grey castle and knocked at the door. The servant opened the door. What do you want? We want to talk to your master. You can't. He's busy. It's his wedding day today. Well, we know. That's why we are here. We are musicians. We will play for his ceremony. And so they were led into that big hall that was filled with wedding guests. And on a little podium, there stood the magician holding the crying princess. Mandy started to play his fiddle, and one by one, the guests fell asleep. The magician fell asleep. The princess fell asleep, but not the 7 brothers. Now, Tuesday came up and freed the princess from the hold of the magician who didn't wake up. And Wednesday put her into his pocket. She fit there. They walked out of the castle and nobody stopped them. They didn't know that they took the princess away. After a while, the magician woke. He saw that the princess was gone. Guards, get on your horses and ride after them quickly. Bring the princess back. And the guards hopped on their horses and they stormed away to find the 7 brothers. Gallop, 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 gallop. The brothers heard them coming. They turned around and Thursday waved his oak twig. Wooden bullets started flying around and the horses got scared. They turned around, galloped back home with the guards hurt from the bullets. They told the magician, we are sorry, we couldn't get the princess. Ah, good for nothing, people. Whenever something has to be done, I have to do it myself. Ha! He was so furious, changed into a vulture and flew up high. And here the brothers kept walking and they walked till they came to a huge, shady old tree. Wednesday took the princess out of the pocket. They thought they were out of danger now and they fell asleep. But the magician, the vulture, was flying up high, looking north, looking south, looking east, looking west, and finally he saw them under the tree. He swooped down and picked up the princess in his beak and flew up high. Help! 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 And the seven brothers woke up. Friday quickly took out his bow and his arrow and he aimed. He shot. The arrow flew up and up and up, right into the eye of the vulture. The vulture cried, ah! It was a death cry. Opened his beak and the princess fell down. She fell and she fell and she fell faster and faster, and Shabbos ran swiftly and caught her in his hands and put her down on the ground. And there she stood, radiant with joy. Oh my God, she was so beautiful. They had never seen such a beautiful woman. And now something happened that never should have happened. These brothers started to quarrel because each one of them wanted to marry her. I will marry her, said Sunday. I saw her first. Monday shouted, oh, how can you marry her? If I hadn't played the fiddle, we couldn't have gotten her. So I will marry her. Eh, if I hadn't freed her from the magician and put her in my pocket, she would not have been here. You all be quiet. I will marry her. Eh, I scared away the guards. I killed the magician. Else we all would have been dead. I will marry her. Each one of them listed their contribution as if love were a ledger, as if a woman were a reward at the end of a successful mission. Brothers, Shabo said, it's true, but I caught her, and that's why she's alive. But we shouldn't quarrel about it. Each one of us is just thinking about himself. Not one of us has thought about what she wants. Oh, I know. Women want beautiful clothes. No, 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 no. They want a handsome husband and blah, 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 blah. The princess heard everything. She smiled. I thank you all so much. Altogether, you have rescued me, and all my life I will be thankful to all of you, and you will be my best friends throughout my life. But as to spend the rest of my life with any one of you, it's Shabbos. Huh? Not because he saved me from dying, but because he was the only one who remembered that my life belongs to me. He was the only one to ask me what I wanted. Women do not desire only beauty or wealth. Women do not desire attention. What women desire most is sovereignty. The power to make their own choices, the freedom to decide their own life. I will marry you, Shabbos. And I don't have to tell you that the princess and Shabbos got married and they lived happily ever after. And friends, maybe not only women, I think every human heart desires sovereignty, to be seen, to be heard, to choose. So I leave you with a question. Who is the Shabbos in your life? The one who pauses and listens, and in whose life are you willing to pause and ask them what they want? Because love without listening is not love, and power without pause is not wisdom. Isn't it? Thank you.
What a beautiful reflection you have kept the story with. And that was really wonderful, Shilpa. So, yes, anybody would start to give the answer. Who's the Shabos in your life?
I would like
Do,
to add something. I told this story because this story spoke to me. Because at its heart was a question which was so simple and yet so rare. What does a woman want? Yes. So, because for generations, women have been told what to do, what to be, what to sacrifice. But this story, it gave space to a woman's inner voice, her choice. And that moment of asking was not just a question, it was dignity, it was respect and recognition. And for me, this story is not just a story of magic. I see it as a story of respect, of choice, and equality. And I told this story because I believe that stories can restore forgotten voices. Because somewhere, someone in the audience might need to hear that their choice matters. And also, perhaps somewhere within me too, there was a quiet voice that wanted to be heard.
that is so true, so true. So, that's one thing. This story goes a lot into depth, right? When we ask the question that what women want, isn't it? Because I think nowadays, since people are getting aware about psychology, about a lot of healing is going on, a lot of, reflections on thoughts are going on. So yes, people have started understanding. But as far as I know, during my mom times and all, they would never be questioned that what do you like to do, or in fact, a very personal, I would say, is when we go to a restaurant to have dinner on Sundays, it's never my choice. It's
Yes,
either my husband's choice or my kid's choice. I mean,
yes,
I'm just sidelined even today. So,
yes.
if somebody comes and asks, what do you want to eat? Then I'm like blank. I don't
Blank.
know what to
Yeah.
say because nobody has asked me this question till now. Right. So then you start feeling special. Oh, really? Am my choice matters? Like
Yes.
it's something like that. So yes, very beautiful. Anybody else would like to ask her any question or any reflection on the story? Yes, Shivani.
Yes, I would like to answer Shilpa's question. She said, now who are you in someone else, suppose in someone else's life? I
Right.
think if we start very young with our daughters, asking them what you want, and this I've been reflecting a lot on her. Now, this is what we are telling, but what do you want to do? Asking her, giving her choices, or do you want to take this? So I think starting very young and asking them, I think that is the biggest sabos in young girls' life.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Shivani.
Yes.
I would like to give a feedback to Shilpa. Shilpa, lovely narration, Shilpa. And very few stories we have where the female character is given importance and she takes a decision. Very rare. I don't think most of the stories are, the princess type of stories, the folk tales. All of the man comes and rescues the women. Somebody, the demon comes and rescues her. Someone rescues, but then at the end, the women decides in this story, right? Someone rescues, but the female is taking the decision what to do, what not to do. I think we find rarely tales like that.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely narration, Shilpa.
Thank you.
I love the twist and I love the story. Thank you so much for sharing and adding
Thank
your
you.
own twist and your flavor. You
Thank
actually own now it's your story. You owned it by making the changes. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Yes, so I think all the questions which were put forward, that does the story teach you any lesson? It's of course, she's already reflected on us, right? That what does it, we should always be listening to people. Nowadays, that skill is no more in people. Everybody wants to just talk, but nobody wants to listen, especially when a woman is talking, right? They would say, wait a minute, wait a minute. I think this goes from the boardrooms to the kitchens, everywhere, isn't it? It does happen everywhere. So yes, it is so important that when somebody listens to us or asks us for, go before anybody else. So yes, is there anything which you would like to add to the story, or so there's any instances in your life which comes into your mind while you hear to this story or while you are telling to this story? So as I told, that when we go to restaurant and I'm never asked my choice. So something like that reflects on anybody else, real reflections in your life by listening to this story. So, when we are listening something, we always say, हाँ, मेरे साथ भी ऐसा कुछ हुआ था. That kind. As anybody got that, thought.
Sheetal, I would say you have given a perfect example, which I think
Huh,
most of the women must have experienced. Most of the women.
right. So something that you remember or, something like that. Anybody? Even if you're offline, if you are not able to on your camera, you can please tell. So that was wonderful, Shilpa. Thank you so much for this story. And yes, it has put us into a lot of thoughts. I think our hubbies need to listen to the story.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Yes. Thank
And
you
best
so much.
wishes for your Hindi telling and hosting it.
Thank you.